So, what to do? First things first, jump in, run around. I'm just kidding. Let's go to the content. We need a folder. Let's just call it ships. No smoothing group information. Oops. We can fix that later. Let's take a look at the mesh. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Alright, so the ship's in. It's got the skeleton as well. Let's go ahead and add something else here. Well, would you look at that? Right back to its looks. We can live with that. So that's a third person folder. We'll call this folder pilot because it'll hold a blueprint that'll allow us to pilot this thing. Go ahead and add a blueprint class. Let's use ChatGPT to get it right the first time. I know what to do, but I remember there being some weird brick walls I was running into. All right, pawn class. It's expected. It could be possessable. Makes sense. I'll read all this too. So, step by step, basic spaceship setup in UE5. So, 1, create your spaceship blueprint. Right click, add a blueprint class, make it a pawn, name it BP spaceship. We can follow along with. I don't see why not. Okay, name it BP spaceship. Open it up. Add the following root component. Use scene component or let default scene roots stay. Oh, I'll go ahead and add my spaceship now actually. Skeletal mesh. And then I can select my Nova 86. Big boy. Nice. Oh, it was literally gonna tell me to do that right after. And yeah, okay, let me name this ship body. Assign your spaceship mesh or placeholder box for now. Camera for third person or cockpit view. I will need that. Oh wow, it can run a camera within its own context. That's cool. And then the camera shake source. I guess I could put the camera inside of a camera shake source and then it can shake the camera. Where's this thing pointed at? Go 90 degrees. Pick it up a bit. And I'll be able to properly place the camera once I'm in play mode. But I'm thinking this is fine for now. Let's save, compile and save. All right, what else is it talking about? Oh, spring arm. I didn't even think about that. Let's add the second camera that's inside the ship. Perfect. Compile. Let's see what else it's talking about. Go to edit. Project settings, input, basic inputs. Okay. The way that we'll do this, I'll just go inside of, I think it's in here. Yeah, third person inputs. Oof, where's the floor? I just realized. But tell me what you think of the design of the ship. Tell me if you like it. There's obviously some things that need some tweaking now that I'm looking at it without the texturing. All right, I went in and fixed the normals. We had some issues with the floor. All I did was recalculate the outside normals by selecting everything, control all in, recalculate outside. Oh, I guess you could do shift in to recalculate the outside as well. That'll fix our little issues we had. Go ahead and select everything. Select the armature last, export FBX. I'm gonna re-import this skeletal mesh, take a quick look inside, and yes, things are fixed. Simple as that. This is a bit odd, but we'll fix that later as well. All in all, everything looks to be in place. I would like these cords to all plug into like an actual plug back here. So I'm gonna get really technical about that once we get back in Blender and make this really, really nice because this does not look good. This is probably the worst part about the ship here. So I'll look at some references on how like the back engines should look from the inside and just base it off that. I should have fixed some of these shadows too, like this. I'm kind of annoyed about this. Shouldn't be this way. And also this right here, but whatever. All right, so I'm gonna put everything from Nova 86 into the folder here. And then I'm gonna go in my pilot folder. Let's take a look at the viewport. Let's put this thing in world as well. Might as well. Pretty good size. Pretty good size. I think I did a good job on the guessing the right like scale, you know? Pretty nice. Using the camera view down here to determine how I want to place these cameras. This is the easiest, fastest way to do it. Look how quickly I can line things up. Very nice. Alright, now we have a couple cameras to switch from, and I think the positioning is nice. We'll mess around with it a little bit, of course, once we get the seat in there. But it's a good start, off to a good start. Alright, what we'll need to do is figure out where we left off at. Set up the controls. So within Pilot, I think I'll just make my own. I might just want to use this. This is already so well done. Spacebar, jump and everything is already mapped. And then I'll just go inside of here to make the other inputs that I might need. Primary is left click, secondary is right click. We'll need one for speed, which will be the scroll wheel. 1D float, I think that'll be fine for scroll wheel. Alright, let's see what else. Use a float variable called current speed and turn rate for flexibility. Alright, let's just get in the event graph. Use event tick for continuous thrust, or use input axis events. Yeah, don't use event tick. Definitely not. What I need is move, which would be WASD. Oh, I forgot one other thing. Crouch. All right, and with this, all we need to do is pretty much copy what's inside of third person blueprint, because this pretty much moves the character around using the movement input. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this, paste it. Let's see if this just automatically works. It doesn't. Gotta add the input mapping context. We might as well just copy all of this actually. I don't know why not. All right, let's see if that works. Oh, I don't have a way to move it yet. All right, we're moving around. All right, let me tell it I want to add movement up and down. Okay, I'll humor this. I want to see if this just ends up being better, because it says it might be good for drift, so that's cool. Maybe it'll feel even more realistic. So I'm gonna get rid of this and get rid of this, and then we can add force forward and backward. Let's see what happens if I just trigger it. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna do this the way that I know to do it, which is using these inputs. Add movement input will be just fine. Nice. Now it moves expectedly. I have the rotation correct as well, which is nice, and the camera too. Cool. I think this is right. I don't know. Get control rotation. Find the up vector. Can I make this a float? Yeah, I might want to make this a float. Input action Z axis, because this is a 2D axis because it's like 4 different buttons for it, but the Z axis is only 2 buttons, so it's 1D up and down. Go back into the IMC default. Let's go ahead and add that mapping, and spacebar, add a control. That might be fine. Let's see what it looks like. So we don't want this jump. Instead, we want Z-axis, which has action value that we can use for that. I've realized something. In the IMC default, we need to specify what these are doing. So on the left control, the modifier you want is a negate, and that'll work the magic. Now, since we've done that, I think this will, yes it does. So with control and spacebar, we can move up and down. With WASD, we can move forward, back, left, right. Now all that's left is the mouse movement, so we can rotate this thing. Just plugging everything right back in. Wait, how is this set up? Oh. One problem is that the ship itself doesn't rotate. Target is self. Everything else works for self. What am I rotating if not the ship? Yeah, because floating pond movement doesn't allow me to use these. Alright, so most of the ship movement is done. I didn't get to record a lot of it. But it's done. I'll show how it works though, of course. And maybe I'll do a tutorial on it and everything, of course, sometime in the future too. But as you can see, we got some space-like movement that's based on ship orientation. If I want to stabilize it, I can just press V. That'll stabilize it to the world orientation. All right, we made it to the last little portion of the video. Thanks for sticking around. What I'm showing you here is just the ship moving around a bit. First person. Got all the movement done. Lateral and torque movement. Stabilizers for both lateral and torque as well. Just finding the velocity and the torque, giving it a negative value and applying it to its own component. That's all it is. The right stick is being driven by the mouse, of course, and left stick is WASD. Third person has got the free look, or soft look, I mean, looking in the camera direction. You can freely roll by holding the right mouse button and rolling left and right. This model, interesting enough, it actually can transform. That's why it doesn't look that good, because I was really just trying to focus on getting the first transformable model made. So of course you're going to see the process for that too pretty soon. What's important to me right now is the seamlessness of first person to third person, or the seamlessness of first person and switching from the ship to the mech, because what's happening is the camera is switching from the cockpit view to inside of the mech's head, which is a pretty big change there. So making sure that feels at least a little seamless, but that's something that I'm going to be working on. Maybe you'll get to see a little bit of that as well. Inside of the ship, we need to put the character model in here. I'll show you that too. I did do a full character model using a base mesh that I had laying around, one that I made myself too. So all from scratch, all 100% made by Z. I might post some of that stuff too, so you can download it. Maybe put out like some kind of link system so you can get that stuff. But we'll see. There's some math over there on the left, as you can see. It's just telling you how much gravity is being applied to your ship based on the position from you to the planet. Things for the future. We need to work on enemies and weapons. We need to work on Dark Souls type movement where you can block, attack, dodge, do all that stuff. I want to get real methodical with the attack structure and also have guns at the same time. I wonder how that would feel. I don't even know. So let's just throw it together and see. We're going to have a lot of different ship models, a lot of different mech models. I want you to really just be able to take your pick. But in the end, I'm looking for a style. I want to have my own style of mech. If anybody has any suggestions, that'd be cool. But I'll likely be able to come up with something in the next few days. As for enemies, how far I want to take that is maybe up to bosses or mini bosses at least. So take it up to mini bosses that we can quickly fight in the overworld here. We need a star background so that it doesn't look so barren. I haven't placed one yet because I was thinking of ways to make it real and like have real stars, real suns, real solar systems and whatnot. But we'll see. After we get done with the enemies and bosses, next up and lastly is going to be planet tech, which is foliage, making the planets look good, making them able to function as like a landscape map, how it would normally in Unreal Engine, just in a sphere. So that's all we need to do next. And once planets are done and the surface normals are being matched with the player character and gravity is fixed to a certain amount once you get close enough to it and all that's done, we can start playtesting. I think that means playtest, because after that point, planets are done, enemies are in, and the background and settings should start to basically come together on its own. Get a few ships in there, switch back and forth to meg form to ship form, and we got a game going, you know? So hope you're looking forward to it. I appreciate you hanging out. Hopefully you liked the video. Leave a like if you did. Leave a comment. Just let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any suggestions for the game or anything you want me to add in. Things you might be excited about, or just something you want to say. But all right, until next time, peace.